aggregated data from these 7 countries, we're able to say that there are some broad commonalities amongst the 7 countries that we're studying. They have higher than world average GDP growth, coupled with lower than world average GDPs per capita by PPP. They have, as we say, large agrarian sectors and limited industrialization. They have large and dynamic informal economies. They have lower than world average energy consumption per capita, and that's particularly interesting. And certainly, to meet our criteria, they would have to have experienced rapid informationalization through telecommunications. Slide. Back, please. Now, a bit about the research methodologies that we employed in this study. Our researchers went into every country and studied urban environments, urban slums, or informal cities. They went and looked at small towns. They went to rural and remote environments. They went into people's homes and conducted extensive home visits. They documented the use of various kinds of media and technology. They documented the availability of energy, the availability of electricity at different times of the day, at different places within the home. They asked after the identities of their subjects, into how their identity was crafted in relationship to other members of the same household, as well as perhaps those who live across the road or across the alley. They conducted a protocol called wallet mapping, where they asked the subject to lay out on the table all of the elements of personal identity that they might carry around in their wallet, and then asked after the institutional relationships that were revealed through that kind of exercise. We looked at the domestic incomes of these households. We looked at the different ways in which the income of different family members was aggregated. Looked at how consumer choices were made collaboratively. We also worked with regional partners in every geography. And finally, we met with a series of country experts, and that allowed us to gain richer and deeper insights into the social contours, the technology trends, and the sort of media dynamics of each country. As we developed the report, we got continuous feedback from country experts to ensure that our evaluation was actually on the right track, and that local subjects would agree broadly with the insights that we had developed. Slide. Let me give you a brief example of the kind of data that we aggregated. This is a subject who is pseudo-named John. He's one of 21 subjects that are included in the report from all different economic backgrounds and regions of the world. Slide. We document in this way his environment, the location of his home, the different kinds of cooking and home media technologies available within the home. Slide. The different technologies, again, the colors, materials, and finishes employed, different aspects of self and community making, the kinds of associations that are relevant and interesting to John and his family. Slide. Now, to aggregate data from John's home with data from 20 other families, in fact a much larger number that wasn't eventually included in the published licensable document, we needed to actually develop an entirely new framework for how to compare subjects from different parts of the world. I won't go into details here, but suffice it to say that different regions of the world, different countries have developed different mechanisms for classifying people by class, region, access to technology, education, income levels, and so forth. And so we needed to actually build a synthetic framework that would be more insightful, or at least as insightful as all of these different regional frameworks. Slide. Here are some glimpses of the report. We of course have extensive quantitative sections. We talk about each nation covered as part of the report. We explain how the nation is different and similar to other countries immediately surrounding it. We talk about macroeconomic and macro-quantitative measures that help at a high level to develop strategy for the country. Slide. We have an extensive user studies section. This is kind of country analytic data about demographic classification systems for one country, which we then, as I said, aggregate for different countries. A number of different user studies, in fact 21 of them, from different class, regional and locational contexts. More detailed information about security, energy and waste disposal for each household. An entire section devoted to visual culture, very detailed understandings of how colors, materials, forms, iconography can very immediately and powerfully communicate to subjects, kind of information that's absolutely essential in designing products, in designing product packaging, and in designing advertising media. Slide. We have a large section of the report devoted to the description of different key societal trends observed in all of these different country contexts. We contextualize those societal trends by different countries and then blow up exactly what the societal trend means for corporate strategy, for product service innovation, and for marketing. Slide. One of the most important sections of the report is devoted to innovation opportunity themes. And this section of the report really identifies about 12 to 14 different approaches to new business innovation, as well as new product service concepts that we feel are really relevant and salient for emerging economies. And I'll explain that in some detail with an example. Slide. We have a key concept called osmotic utilities. The idea of osmotic utilities came to us by observing different innovative approaches to preserving energy and reusing or optimizing the benefit of any energy process, more especially in rural environments. Now, the concept to us was to say, slide.